Lawmakers skirting the rules, accepting lucrative jobs at state agencies when the law says those positions are off limits. Our Oklahoma Impact team investigates. Here's Alex Cameron.
The state constitution prevents former legislators from taking state jobs less than 2 years after the end of their term in office. But there are ways to get around that, and some insist this needs to stop. Oklahoma Impact's Amy Lester investigates.
I don't know that we've seen so many smiling faces since we adjourned last May.
At one time, he was the youngest Speaker of the House in the nation.
I'm comfortable we're going to meet that challenge head on.
Glenn Johnson spent 14 years in the Oklahoma House of Representatives. Less than a year after he left office, he got the president's job at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. His salary, more than $114,000 a year.
In my case, there was just a very strong interest in being involved in education, and there was an opportunity to continue that through the service and through the position at Southeastern.
I'm primarily concerned about the pollution in the legislative process.
Howard Hendrick is another former legislator turned state employee. He stepped down from his Senate seat in 1998 to take over as director of DHS just 2 days later. His salary, $10,000 a month.
I'd never really used my MBA skills, and I really wanted to see whether or not those skills really could be used in a larger environment. And so really it was the management challenge that appealed to me.
And they're not alone. Angela Monson, Cal Hobson, Ben Brown, Don Garrison, Danny Hilliard, Fred Morgan, and Kevin Easley all started working for universities or state agencies less than 2 years after the end of their terms in office. They could legally do that because of these Attorney General's opinions. They were written in response to questions on the issue and now are as good as law. The AG says as long as the former lawmaker's salary is not paid for with state appropriated dollars and the position is not created by the legislature, it's okay to not wait and start work immediately. To comply with those AG opinions, former lawmakers are paid with federal funds, private money, or non-appropriated dollars, like fines or fees for the first 2 years. In Glenn Johnson's case, auxiliary funds, money from things like the bookstore and vending, took care of his salary, benefits, and retirement.
We all felt it was very important to follow the law and to fully comply with the law, and that's what was done.
In Howard Hendrick's case, DHS used federal funds and matching state dollars, which the AG says is okay.
2 other legislators had held this job prior to the time I held it. So I think we felt safe that this was not a problem.
Hendrick and the others may not have broken the law, but still some disagree with the AG's opinions and insist this practice is wrong.
When a legislator takes a job before the 2 years is up, does it violate the spirit of that section of the Constitution?
That is my opinion.
State Auditor and Inspector Steve Burridge believes former lawmakers cannot take state jobs without waiting 2 years, no matter how they're paid.
I'm a firm believer in the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma. And, you know, the Constitution did not make a distinction between federal and state funds the way I read it.
Burridge is not the only one who reads it that way.
I'd characterize it as disgusting.
Representative Mike Reynolds is talking about the prevalence of former lawmakers working for state agencies soon after they leave office.
Are these former legislators trying to get around the Constitution?
They're not trying. They're getting around the Constitution. Yeah. In my mind, there's no question about it.
That's why Reynolds says former legislators should always wait the full 2 years.
These people there are self-serving. They weren't here to be public servants. They were here to apparently embellish their own careers, and that's a sad situation.
Next session, Reynolds plans on proposing legislation to clarify the Constitution and bring an end to this practice. Amy Lester, the Oklahoma Impact Team.
We asked Attorney General Drew Edmondson to share his thoughts on this with us since some of the opinions came from his office. He refused. For Oklahoma Impact, I'm Alex